Amtrak's Airo train has finally made some remarkable progress. For years, Amtrak has brought high hope in modernizing rail travel across the U.S. and presents a sense of pride in American transportation for more convenient travel. With its state-of-the-art technology, Airo will be an important part of the train system across the country. So what happened recently? And are there any preparations from Amtrak for this new endeavor? Let's find out in today's episode of Great Trainspeed.
Amtrak Airo will transform the travel experience. This is the future.
On May 30th, Amtrak revealed more images of the next-generation train, the Airo. Built by Siemens Mobility, this American-made fleet is expected to enter service in 2026, marking a pivotal milestone in Amtrak's long-term modernization strategy. The Airo will first appear along the Northeast Corridor and gradually expand to other key lines starting in 2027. These include the Empire Service, Downeaster, Hartford Line, and Amtrak Cascades, connecting major cities across the Northeast, Northwest, and beyond. Each Amtrak Airo train will be operated as a single train set, rather than individual rail cars. These train sets will replace aging rolling stock that has been in operation for nearly half a century, offering a much-needed upgrade in speed, efficiency, and passenger experience. The Airo project represents a $7.3 billion investment. Originally, Amtrak ordered 73 train sets, but an additional 10 units have since been added, bringing the confirmed order to 83. There is also potential to expand the fleet by up to 130 more trains as national demand grows. Early reactions from passengers to these images reflect both excitement and cautious optimism. Many riders are praising the train's sleek, modern design, calling it one of the better-looking additions to Amtrak's fleet in recent years. A particularly popular feature is Airo's ability to travel seamlessly between electrified and non-electrified routes, a change expected to cut transfer times in Washington, D.C., and improve through service between multiple cities across the U.S. Supporters have also expressed hopes for improved onboard comfort, especially when it comes to seating. While travelers are enthusiastic about modern upgrades, they've made it clear they want seats that match or surpass the comfort of older Amfleet or Horizon cars, unlike those found on the newer Venture cars, which drew criticism. Some are also calling for better sleeper cabins and higher quality dining options. Other passengers have voiced concerns about visibility, asking Amtrak to avoid window advertisements that can obstruct scenic views. Meanwhile, a few questions remain about Airo's full electric capabilities, especially regarding the type of locomotives it will use under catenary power. Overall, the response is hopeful. Passengers are engaged, opinionated, and eager to see a new era of American train travel take shape. With a bright future ahead, the new train has received strong support from the government, but are there any specific preparations from Amtrak for Amtrak Airo? As part of preparations for the arrival of the new Airo train sets, Amtrak has begun major upgrades at one of its most critical West Coast facilities. In Seattle's historic King Street Yard, construction crews have broken ground on a new maintenance complex designed to meet the needs of a modern rail fleet.
Less about trains as point A to point B and more about the experience between point A and point B.
Set to open in 2026, the overall project investment is nearly $300 million, funded by the IIJA, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. This nearly 100,000 square foot facility will serve as a key support center for the upcoming Amtrak Airo trains, beginning with their deployment on the Amtrak Cascades route. The site will also provide essential services for long-distance trains operating out of Seattle, making it one of the most important rail yards in the Pacific Northwest. At the heart of this project is a shift toward more advanced, efficient maintenance operations. The new complex will include a two-bay maintenance and inspection facility alongside a dedicated service and cleaning bay. Together, these additions will enable faster turnaround times, more precise inspections, and improved onboard service reliability. Once fully completed in 2027, the upgraded King Street Yard will reflect a broader nationwide effort to modernize not just trains, but the infrastructure that keeps them running. It's a behind-the-scenes investment, less visible to passengers, yet vital to ensuring that Amtrak's next generation of trains runs smoothly, safely, and sustainably. Even though the project on Airo got huge support from both the government and residents, it might have faced some hurdles. So what exactly are these hurdles? Amtrak's new Airo train is getting a lot of support from both the government and everyday riders. People are excited, but there are still some concerns. That's mostly because the company building the Airo, Siemens, also made some of Amtrak's previous trains that didn't go smoothly. Back in early 2022, Siemens-built ALC-42's locomotives had issues on the Empire Builder route. A few of them broke down not long after launch and had to be towed by older trains just to get out of Chicago. That left some folks wondering if the new Airo can really hold up in real-world service. Since then, Amtrak says things have gotten better. During the winter of 2023 to 2024, the newer locomotives broke down a lot less, about 4 times less than the winter before. A bunch of the early issues have already been fixed. That said, some new problems popped up. In late 2023, cold weather messed with the pipes that carry oil inside the train's transformer. When that happened, the train struggled to power things like lights, heat, or even move properly. Amtrak fixed it by swapping out the bad pipes, and Siemens updated the design so all future locomotives will have the improved version. But winter 2024 brought more trouble. Some trains had issues with the system that deals with diesel exhaust fluid, and even the emergency engine shutoff buttons. Those buttons are on the outside of the train, and snow or ice could accidentally hit them and shut the engine off, right in the middle of freezing weather. Amtrak and Siemens are now working on fixes to prevent these kinds of problems from happening again. While these issues show that building modern trains isn't easy, they also show that Amtrak is learning and making changes. The goal is to make sure the new Airo trains are not just fast and modern, but also reliable in all kinds of weather. What do you think about this new train? Will it play a major role in the future of the rail industry? Type 1 if you agree, or 0 if you think otherwise. One of the coolest things about the Airo train is how it can run on different types of power depending on where it's going. It's built to handle all kinds of routes, whether there are electric wires overhead or not. If the tracks have electric lines, Airo can hit speeds up to 125 miles per hour. If not, it switches over to diesel and still moves fast, up to 110 miles per hour. And for shorter routes or places that need quieter, cleaner operation, it can run on battery power at around 60 miles per hour. This mix-and-match power system means Airo can go just about anywhere without needing big changes to the tracks. Plus, it uses less fuel and puts out fewer emissions, which lines up with what a lot of countries, like those in Europe and Asia, are already doing with their newer trains. The Amtrak Airo is built with today's passengers in mind. It's got a modern look, more space inside, big windows to enjoy the view, and larger restrooms. It's also designed to be easier for everyone to use, with things like wheelchair lifts and a cafe car that's set up to be more accessible. You'll find comfy seats, USB ports, Wi-Fi, and better food options. They even added color-coded cabins to help people find their way around more easily. Whether you're in business class or a regular seat, the idea is to make the ride smoother and more enjoyable. When it comes to the environment, the Airo is a big improvement. It's not fully electric yet, but it's a lot cleaner than older trains. Amtrak says it puts out up to 90% fewer emissions when running on diesel. That's a solid move toward their goal of hitting net zero emissions by 2045. The train also uses fuel-saving tech and a lighter design to boost efficiency. On average, taking an Airo instead of driving the same distance by car could cut your carbon footprint in half. Metra, the regional rail service around Chicago, is taking a different route from Amtrak. They're getting ready to roll out new battery-powered trains that don't produce any emissions from the tailpipe. Since they run fully on batteries, they help cut down on air pollution, especially important in crowded cities where clean air is a big deal. Amtrak's Airo trains take a more flexible approach. They're designed to switch between electric and diesel power, which means they can run on tracks with or without overhead wires. It's a practical way for Amtrak to go greener, even on routes that aren't fully electrified yet. In the broader picture, both Metra and Amtrak are trying to solve the same problem: cutting down emissions from train travel. Whether it's all electric or a smart mix of power sources, both are steps toward making rail travel cleaner and more sustainable.